Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
America is back, baby. I'm Gary Franchi reporting from outside the White House, where just hours ago, history was made. 4 American astronauts are now hurling through space towards the moon, the first humans to leave Earth's orbit in over 50 years. And President Trump just addressed the nation about it and what he said and what it means for American dominance. Well, you just need to see this. And listen to me carefully. This is not just about space. This is about who leads humanity into the future. For decades, we watched our space program stagnate. We handed our launches to foreign nations. We relied on Russian rockets to get our astronauts to space. The humiliation was complete, but today, American astronauts launched on an American rocket built by American workers under an American president who refuses to let this nation come in second place. The Artemis II mission isn't just going around the moon, it's going further than any human being has ever traveled. 4,600 miles beyond the far side of the moon. This is what happens when you put America first. This is what happens when you stop apologizing and start winning again. And speaking of preparing for historic moments, I need to ask you something. If a major disruption happened tomorrow and you couldn't get to the store, how long could you survive on what's in your house right now? If it's anything less than a month, you need to listen up. Our friends at My Patriot Supply are America's #1 preparedness company with over 3 million satisfied customers. Now, these are patriots who understand that self-reliance isn't paranoia, it's wisdom. And right now, when you go to preparewithgary.com, their best-selling 4-week emergency food supply comes with an additional week of food absolutely free. That's 5 weeks of peace of mind. Don't wait for the next crisis to wish that you had prepared. Head to preparewithgary.com right now, because the prepared, they survive. Now, let me show you exactly what happened today, because the footage is absolutely incredible. I watched it with my family. We had tears in our eyes. See, we've got this launch, we've got this NASA administrator, we've got the reaction from across the country, and we've got the president himself. So let's get right into it. This captures the exact moment that everything changed. The countdown, the ignition, the roar of American engineering coming to life. Now watch the moment Artemis II leaves the launch pad and listen to mission control as they guide humanity's next great voyage.
RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good, roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time, passing 30 seconds into the flights.
Did you hear that? Humanity's next great voyage begins. That's not hyperbole, folks. That's a fact. Those RS-25 engines, that booster ignition, American power on full display. Houston controlling the flight of integrity, and that spacecraft is already performing flawlessly. But the launch was just beginning. Wait until you hear what NASA's administrator had to say. Jarek Isaacman, a man who has actually been to space himself, posted this message with a promise directly tied to President Trump. And you need to hear what he says about America and the moon, and why this mission carries so much more than just astronauts.
Today is the day. The day America has been waiting for over 50 years. The day that gets us one step closer to the moon and unlocks the golden age of space exploration. This mission carries more than astronauts. It carries our ambition, our innovation, and the spirit that has always driven us forward. We've done the near impossible before, and today we're doing it again. Not just for this generation, but for the next. This is NASA. This is Artemis II.
Under President Trump, America will never give up the moon again. That's commitment, folks. Isaacman said this mission carries our ambition, our innovation, and the spirit that has always driven us forward. We've done the near impossible before, and today we're doing it again. That is American exceptionalism, and that is what leadership looks like. And if you thought that footage was impressive, wait until you see this extended cut. This footage gives you the full countdown experience. 10, 9, 8, all the way down to booster ignition. What happens in the seconds after liftoff when you hear the crew of Integrity rocketing through the atmosphere, that's what gave me chills. Watch this.
10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate MECO. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the four main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour.
3 miles altitude, 1,200 miles per hour, and that was just 30 seconds into the flight. The Space Launch System performing flawlessly, Houston calling out milestones as the spacecraft tears through the atmosphere. You're watching American engineering at its absolute finest, and this is only the beginning of a 10-day journey. Now here's where it gets interesting, because even CNN couldn't contain their excitement. That's right, CNN. The guys behind me, you're about to watch their coverage from a watch party at Johnson Space Center in Houston. Over 1,000 people gathered, and the reaction, well, you just got to see it to believe it.
The Orion capsule carrying 4 astronauts is now in space, beginning its 10-day journey that will take them 4,600 miles beyond the far side of the moon, the furthest humans have ever gone into space. CNN's Ed Lavandera is at a watch party inside NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. Ed, there was a lot of cheering here behind me. I imagine you saw some of that too.
Oh, yeah. Houston, we are having no problems, but a very, very good time here. We're about 1,300 people gathered at Space Center Houston, which is the visitor center right next door to Johnson Space Center. They filled up this lobby, and I can tell you it was an electric moment watching on the big screen the launch here. All of these people in a community that has been so intertwined with the NASA space program for decades and decades. So this really kind of hitting to the heart of this community, all these people who either are directly working for NASA or have friends, some sort of connection to it. This moment means so much to so many people, and it was just electric. And what really struck me, Boris, as we were watching the launch is that after that initial, as you watch the rocket boosters take off and the eruption from the engines, sending this rocket out into space, there were times where it was just eerily quiet in here. Everybody on pins and needles, watching what was going to happen, watching that rocket lift into outer space, and on the edge of their seat. I talked to a lot of people who talked about it was a nerve-wracking experience. This is a test flight. This, the deep concerns about exactly how this was going to play out, a very risky mission, all of that, and that tension and excitement and euphoria we experienced and watched firsthand here this afternoon. Boris?
It was unbelievable to witness. Ed Lavandera, live for us in Houston. Thank you so much. At any moment now, another key part of this mission, the solar array wings.
Did you catch that? The Orion capsule going 4,600 miles beyond the far side of the moon, the furthest humans have ever gone into space. 1,300 people gathered in Houston, the community that has been intertwined with NASA for decades, and the reporter said it was electric. Even CNN's reporter was gushing. Houston, we're having no problems. America is united when we reach for the stars. And then the commander-in-chief himself addressed the nation from the building right behind me. This is President Trump, just hours after that rocket lit up the Florida sky. He spoke directly to the American people about what this mission means. And when he talks about those astronauts, when he calls them brave, you can hear it in his voice. This is a president who understands greatness. Listen.
RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time, passing 30 seconds into the flights.
They're on the way, and God bless them. President Trump calling these astronauts what they are, brave Americans, venturing further than any human being has ever traveled. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown. He said it himself. It's amazing. And it's happening under his watch. American leadership, American courage, and American victory. Now let me put this all together for you. I want you to listen carefully, because here's what you just witnessed, folks. For the first time in over 50 years, American astronauts have left Earth orbit. They're traveling 4,600 miles beyond the moon, further than any human being in history. NASA Administrator Isaacman declared that under President Trump, we will never give up the moon again. Even CNN couldn't hide their excitement, reporting over 1,000 Americans gathered in Houston, united in celebration, and the president himself addressing the nation, calling these astronauts what they are, brave. This is what American greatness looks like. This is what happens when you have a leader who believes in his country. The golden age of space exploration has officially begun again. So let me leave you with this. Today isn't just about 4 astronauts in a rocket. It's about a nation that refuses to accept decline. It's about a president who promised to make America great again and is delivering on that promise beyond Earth's atmosphere. We went from relying on Russia to leading the world. We went from stagnation to domination. This is your country, America. This is your moment. Share this video with every patriot you know and drop a comment telling me what this launch means to you. And subscribe to the Next News Network so you never miss a moment of history. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi, reporting from the White House. Stay informed, stay free, and remember, the stars and stripes now fly higher than ever before. God bless our astronauts. God bless President Trump. God bless the United States of America.
The system controls information. Information control is power. I want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.